Fully grown claws would be too soft to break the eggshell. Stock footage of airplane with old American Airlines logo. Some of the extras, like the two little girls, passed them twice at the docks.
Where's Aunt Claire?
Claire's nude pumps switched to different closed heel shoes during the movie. It makes sense because probably the heels would fly out when she runs through the forest.
Security said the invisible fences were a no-fail. That is the second time this month.
The dinosaurs have some sort of implants to shock them and keep them confined in their areas, so how did they ever escape? Apparently Jurassic World is its own country because they have their own JW assigned flight code. It takes two hands to fly a helicopter unless you are a really good pilot. One hand on the yoke, one hand on the cyclic. Look Ma, no hands! They completely forgot to add the window cracks on this shot. She goes to the control panel by the thick vertical frame, and even though the camera angle changes, the control panel is still right in front of the thick frame, so that makes it very unlikely that the cracks are on the next window over to the left. No cracks on this shot either. Maybe it's time to rethink all the dinosaur cages if even a pig can get loose. That gate sure closes very fast. See how the gate is open at least above his head, but once he presses the button, the gate is already halfway down. He's using a Lomography Diana Mini that has an old school mechanical film advance to take pictures, but he keeps pressing the shutter consecutively without advancing the film with the wheel on its top in between each new picture. I wonder what he thinks is so interesting about the back of people's heads that makes him want to take so many pictures, because he's too short to see the dinosaurs. T-Rex needs red flare to find his meal.
Okay, folks, let's see if she's still hungry after already eating today.
Fun fact, assuming there are multiple daily feedings, then that would mean the Mosasaurus probably eats 700 plus great white sized fishes in a year. That glass is thin enough that the Indominus Rex would actually hear her when she knocks on it, but the I-Rex can't shatter the glass to pieces, only crack it.
Were those claw marks always there?
Even with camouflage, that would mean that a giant dinosaur would climb the wall right next to the viewing station without anyone noticing, where supposedly a guard is posted all the time. Gasoline doesn't bead, so this must be some life-saving refreshing apple juice. The most important thing is not to panic when a giant dinosaur is killing your team, just like these guys' heartbeats are steady like real professionals. 4 girls go inside a 2-seater hamster ball. What happened to the other 2 girls?
You know that I'm not at liberty to reveal the asset's genetic makeup.
What? Doesn't Masrani own the park and Dr. Wu works for him? The I-Rex is part T-Rex and part Velociraptor, and both live fine in the park. So why would they need to use strands of DNA from frogs to...
We use strands from their DNA to adapt her to a tropical climate.
Your safety is our main concern, which is why you're behind our invisible barrier system.
There's that invisible barrier system again, that it's so invisible that it never even does anything in the movie. Somehow for safety issues they are inside a hamster ball, but these other guys get to kayak in the river with dinosaurs. In the original Jurassic Park brochure and map, the visitor center is at the west and nowhere near Jurassic World restricted area. Previously the phone was ringing, but now it's on vibrate. Don't worry, return request has been dispatched. Looks like some other dinosaurs escaped, and that invisible barrier didn't work either. The seats are facing the I-Rex, but then they flip around facing the ground on the next shot. The whole ground is moving as they crawl, which means it's probably a mat with mud on top of it. His face and bracelet are clean, then muddy in the next shot. It's laughable that he'd think that rifle would stop any dinosaur. Okay, maybe the tiny ones. Claire picks up Zach's phone, but it's a good thing Zach has a spare phone on his left pocket.
Every time this thing kills, it moves further south.
If I-Rex is moving south, why did it backtrack to kill the Brontosaurus that were within the fence? And it also shouldn't have attacked Owen and Claire at the old visitor center, unless it was walking really slow. Amazing that it still works after 20 years in a tropical jungle. Helicopter pilots usually sit on the right side, but I guess he's still in training. All the car needed was a new battery that was sitting on the shelf for 20 years and a turn of a wrench to start it. You should go out and buy a Jeep right now, they are super reliable. These two were completely cleaned and now they are coated in mud. This is because on the deleted scenes they covered themselves in dino poop. I-Rex rocks the Jeep where Owen leaned his rifle, but the rifle did not fall to the ground. I know they are shooting from a helicopter, but that's one huge dinosaur to miss.
We have a breach in the aviary.
It's okay, there's the invisible barrier and the implants, right? In movies, time is not always linear between scenes, but these guys on foot sure got out of the forest really fast, at just about the same time as the kids in the jeep being followed by flying pteranodons.
We spotted the boys on surveillance. They're approaching the west gate. I'm headed there now.
Yes, you will need those wings. That lady was just standing there waiting to hand him off the rifle. Zara can somehow find the kids in the middle of all that panic mess, so sad that she dies. This guy was having a hard time picking a target. Check out how his finger was not even on the trigger. No one really knows what sounds dinosaurs made when hurt, but that sounded like a dog. This pteranodon is flying towards the island. Shouldn't it be flying away from it? From daytime it goes straight to nighttime, and yet the I-Rex that is supposed to be traveling south is still not here.
Watch your six!
These guys completely forgot they put tracking beacons on the raptors. Owen drops the rifle as he talks to Blue, but then it's back on his hand and then completely gone. Of all the huge buildings they could have gone, they chose to run across the I-Rex to hide in the souvenir booth. Does this mean that the Mosasaurus could have eaten anyone that happened to walk by that sidewalk before?
Someone has to stay behind.